wrap up. I've gotten a ton of emails that you guys like when I do these, so I'm going to do a quick wrap up of some of the days of this week and how the Maverick AI Pro bundle could have absolutely put you on the right side of the trades. So let's just take this day right here. So this was Thursday. Yesterday was, we did really good yesterday. You can go back. I posted a video. We made some really good money yesterday, but it was pretty boring at the open. Fridays are just, the Fridays can be, sometimes they're really exciting and they just trend all day and we can get some huge moves. And then some days they're just, it's like a wet sock. Yesterday was kind of like that until we had a nice breakout and we took a good trade. But let me walk you through a regular normal day here. So let's look at Thursday. So Thursday, from about, 8:40 or so a.m., we're on the ES 5-minute. You can see you just actually way back here, 7:30, the Maverick AI Pro was taking you through a nice long, okay? We were above the Maverick guide. We go long when we're above the Maverick guide. We go short when price is below the Maverick guide. I would never trade without the Maverick guide on my screen. So I would never trade without it on my screen, rather. So we were coming up here, and you had bright green candles all throughout for the most part. Bright green candles are your strongest upside candle. If you've ever looked at a candle and you're wondering, outside of its size, what's really going on behind the scenes? All the data, all the buyers, all the sellers, all this, all that. Well, let the Maverick AI Pro tell you. And this was a sweet move. Obviously some of you guys aren't trading at 7:30 in the morning, but it's cool to know that it can identify these things way in advance, okay? Way in advance. So even if you just popped in at the classic, futures starting hour of 8:30, this was a sweet move. You would have gotten it from here to market open. Even if you got out before the market opened and you didn't even get the highs of it and you said, I'm going to get out before the bell rings because I don't know if it's going to go up or down. I don't want to deal with the volatility. Right here, this is a 38 to 67. So that's a $29 move, probably more than that, obviously, but nobody gets the full move. So on ES, that would pay you $1,450, just this little move. And you had confidence the whole way because you had bright green candles. Your Maverick trender, when it's pegged to the top, this is what you're looking for, okay? We ignore spikes, but these flat tops just serve up such good trades, these flat tops. And I'll show you how you got, look at this flat top. Look at it just flush down. Look at this nice flat top. This is where the Maverick trender, it just can't go any further. It's literally screaming at you to jump into the trade. And then we'll have a trend label here, but obviously it's Saturday, the market's not open, so you're not gonna have, this is a real-time indicator down here, so you're not gonna have any trend going on right now. But you had bright green candles. Bright green candles are your strongest to the upside candle, okay? Then you came up, you could have jumped in. This is let's see here. Let me mark market open. Market open is what, right there? Let's see here. Did I get that right? Yep, that's your market open. So right off the market open, let me zoom in here for you folks. Right off the market open, you're getting up confidence arrows. You're getting our strongest colored upside candle. So, and you're above the Maverick guide. Remember, when we're above this blue line, we go long. When we're below it, we go short. And I could show you that all day long, even in chop. Above it, long. Below it, short. Below it, short. You got a little thing here, but who's trading at 3:30 in the morning? All right. So you could have just jumped in right here, right at the market open, waited for your first candle to close, because we usually skip that first candle. But even jumping in here, where your Maverick trender is pegged to the top, and then you take it all the way to you start getting gray candles right around here. Okay, well, that doesn't look like a big move, but 64 to 81, okay, oops. That's a $17 move. Well, that doesn't look like a big move. Okay, well, on ES, one contract would have paid you $850 for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe 25 minutes worth of work, if you want to call this work. And then you didn't get faked out here because you had gray candles. You know, this is a perfect example of why the Maverick AI Pro is so special. See this gray candle right here? Let me remove my my drawing here, so I got it here. See this gray candle right here? This would have been a red candle to everyone else. Okay, I think we'd agree on that. That would be a red candle, be a down candle. But right here, it's a gray candle. It is telling you that it's either indecision or reversal. Indecision or reversal. But you held the Maverick guide. See this blue line? Again, we go long when we're above the Maverick guide. We go short when we're below it. It held. So you saw this gray candle and you knew that either if you broke the Maverick guide and continued down, you were going to flush down. But it could hold the Maverick guide. You just had your antennas up because you had a gray candle. Everybody else was freaking out. They had a red candle. Not you. You had a gray candle. You were all good. And then look what happened. Indecision. These were indecision candles. They were not reversal candles. You didn't have a proper long close below the Maverick guide. So you just hung in there. And look, we're back to bright green again, and you could have taken it up a little bit further, okay? Again, this doesn't look like a big move. 70 up to, I mean, it's a $21 move. $21 on ES. This is a $1,000 move. I know this doesn't look like a big move, but this is a $1,000 move on one contract of ES. That's great. That's like, hope you guys are absorbing that, okay? Now, you're probably looking at this indicator underneath here. Don't worry about that. I'll explain it in a second. And you had a flat top. So you could have gotten out at the gray candle, waited, and then gone, oh, it's going to respect the Maverick guide. I'm getting back in and taking this sucker up for 1, 2, 3, 4, even just 4 candles, 20 minutes and $1,000, okay? Now, am I saying you're going to make $1,000 if you would have jumped in there? No, not financial advice. Do your own research. I got to say that stuff, but I mean, that is what ES pays from here to here. Even if you got half that move, that's a $525 move. That's crazy, right? All right, here's where the beautiful part came in. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you saw I took 2 trades on the next move, 2 of them. I couldn't resist. All right, so beautiful move here. Beautiful move here right at the open. Another beautiful move here. Bright green candles are your strongest upside candle. You can have some pretty damn good confidence. If you see a bright green candle, especially in the morning time and like later afternoon, like after 2 o'clock on ES, like you can have pretty good confidence there. Especially look at all these confidence arrows to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay. And then guess what happened? We hit about the 10:50 hour, about 10:50, 11 o'clock. Look what happened. We started to get gray candles. What did we do back here? We just held judgment. We wanted to see if we'd actually close with good measure below the Maverick guide. This is like 2 ticks below the Maverick guide, okay? So we wanted to see, and guess what? You got 1. You went from bright green candles to green candles. Green is your second highest momentum to the upside. Then you got gray candles, which means what? Indecision or reversal. But what tipped me off on this, and you can go back and you can watch, I think it's like 2 or 3 videos ago, why we got in here was look at these confidence arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This thing is screaming at you to get into this trade. 6, 7 down confidence arrows in a row. Are you kidding me? That was bananas. And guess what it did? We go long when we're above the blue line. We go short when we're below it. It broke this Maverick guide, and we took this thing down. I can't remember exactly what I traded, but I know we made a good amount on the first trade. We took it down quite a bit. And then I want to say the president was talking on Thursday. Sorry if I'm getting my days mixed up. But I took profit. I didn't get greedy. And then I got out of the recording. And then I'm watching this thing, and we still had pink candles. We're still way below the Maverick guide. And I said, let me trade some micros. So I got into some micros, and I think we made another $400 with almost no risk. I was risking maybe $20 a contract or something. We made another $400. But look at this. You went from green to gray. Gray means indecision or reversal. In this case, you closed well below the Maverick guide. We started to get red candles, which is your second strongest to the downside, and then pink. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Okay? You don't have to believe me. Look at the chart. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. I have very high confidence when I get into a pink trade, if you will. Okay, so we broke below the Maverick guide. We got all these down confidence arrows. We went from indecision reversal candle to red candle. Now I'm all about it because we just came off of like all green candles and then pink, and we just took a bunch of this flush down. This is a massive move, okay? No one ever gets the full move, but let's just say you were really late to the party and you waited till you broke the Maverick guide, you closed below the Maverick guide, and then you got like halfway into this candle right here. And then let's say you didn't even get this full move. Let's say this came up here and you got chicken and you got out, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mean that in a bad way. There's nothing. I did it on my first trade. I said, President's, I think, talking at noon. I'm getting out of this thing. I'm taking my, what did we make on that first trade? At least $1,000. And then it just kept sinking down. And I was like, I'm getting back in, but I'm not going to give all my money back on a Friday. That's what inexperienced traders do. We want to be a profitable trader. So if you just got not even this full move, because I'm not even going to count it all the way down here. By the way, your Maverick trender was pegged to the top. You had a flat top this entire way. From here all the way down to here, you had a flat top. You had a rest because you had a retracement, and then you got another flat top from here to here. But if you would have just taken it, you got in a candle and a half late, this would have been 755 down to, and let's say you don't get the full move. Oh my God, was that 755? 756, all the way down to, let's say you didn't get all this. Let's say you got out here because it started to kind of flatten out. At 66.19. Oops. 619. That's $137 move. Are you serious? That is crazy. So do you know what this would have paid you on a Thursday if you got in a bar and a half late and you didn't even catch all this move afterwards? Well, I will tell you, my friend, on one contract of ES, this right here is a $6,850 move. $6,850 move. You had bright green candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Look at all these down confidence arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. You got more down here, but I'm not counting any of those. You didn't get the full move, right? Your Maverick trender was pegged to the top. By the way, the Maverick trender, I would never trade without it on my screen. And only our lifetime members have this. This is with the AI Pro bundle lifetime deal. So if you're looking at the monthly, check out the lifetime because I love that we're crushing it with this Maverick trender. Unbelievable move down here. Unbelievable. Okay. Now look at, one thing I do want to draw your attention to is this indicator down here. This is the bear bull. We're releasing this week to our lifetime members of the Maverick AI Pro Maverick Multi-X bundle. It's going to go with that bundle. And this is telling you who's winning the match, buyers or sellers. And this thing has kept me out of so many fakes. It's kept me out of so many fakes and kept me in trades. Because look at this whole move down. See how this was retracing? You would have had 1, 2, and potentially 3 green candles in a row come down, and then more green candles, right? This thing stayed red the whole time. It told you sellers are completely in control. Look at this thing. Boom. We look for confidence. All that flush up. Look at this. From here to here, there are 1, 2, you probably had about 3. You probably had about from here to here, 4, 5. You probably had about 4 to 5 red candles in here at least because you retrace back down. Sorry, I got you like really zoomed out. But look at this whole move where it was from 8:30, came up. You would have had a bunch of red candles. You're chopping around, another red candle. Then you flushed up. Okay, yes, I like to say flush up. I know you guys think it's funny. I call it, instead of flush down like a toilet, this is a flush up like a bidet. So your Maverick Bear Bull would have kept you in the whole way because look at it. It was green the whole time. It was telling you, no, 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 you're retracing, but the bulls are in charge. Stay in. Okay. Then you had a little bit of indecision here where the bulls started to take over. The bears came back in and said, no, 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 no. And you would have jumped back in. This was a huge move, bright green candles. And then you start flushing down. You have your down confidence arrows. You broke below the Maverick guide. You went from gray to red to pink. And look at your bear bull. Look at this thing. Look at this thing the whole way down. Even when you're retracing and you got sideways, you had confidence to stay in because you didn't have any green candles. You just kept coming down and coming down, coming down. So I've been having tremendous success with having this. Sorry, let me do this. Let me do this. Having this really small underneath my Maverick AI Pro chart. Okay. And then normally we trade with our Maverick Multi-X, but that's a real-time indicator. You won't see anything right now because the market's closed. So this is how, and I kept saying this, I had some trades this week where I was like, guys, I'm not psychic. I just have really good indicators. This is how your Maverick AI Pro and your Maverick Trender and now your Maverick Bear Bull just keep you in. Okay. Let me give you one last example and then I'll let you guys go because I know, again, you guys like this weekend recap. Look at this. Here's your market open. Let me mark the market open. That's your market open right there. We stay out of this candle. We do not do anything on this candle, right? You were flushing down. You had hot pink candles since 8 o'clock. You had nice flush down. Nice flush down. Nice flush down. Down confidence arrows. Pink candles. Your Maverick Trender was pegged here. Your Maverick Trender was pegged here. And if that looks like a teensy weensy little move, let's look from the Maverick Trender to where it changed, which was right there. You have hot pink candles. This is a 56 down to $41. 56. Okay, so that's a $15 move. So on one contract, that's a $750 move that you could have scalped before pre-market. Okay, but we open up. And look at this. Look how beautiful the marriage of the Bear Bull and the Maverick AI Pro and the Maverick Trender. You open up. We don't do anything this first candle. This is where they're going to take all your money, folks. I promise you. And then we break above the Maverick guide. Gray candles are reversal candles. When you first open up, gray candles are never indecision candles. They're usually always reversal candles because you have too many buyers and sellers popping in here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 confidence arrows. You break above the Maverick guide and you go from hot pink and red to immediately gray, green, bright green. And this was a beautiful move. Your Maverick Bear Bull stayed green the whole way and your Maverick Trender was pegged to the top. And I'm telling you, you had an uptrend label. This is how you get clear vision on your charts. If you just have red and green candles, you're asking for a roller coaster. You just really are. But let's say you didn't even get this full move. Let's say you were super sloppy and you were like, I don't know. Let's take it. Let's say you got in right here. You waited for a green candle and you took it up to, you didn't even take it to the top. You started to get scared. You're like, oh no, I don't know if this thing's going to keep going. So you only took it up to there. All right, well, let's do the math. 6,700, 66.6. So that's a $40 move. There's 4 ticks to $1, and ES pays $12.50. Folks, this is a $2,000 banger off the open, and you could have been sloppy as heck. You could have watched the Bear Bull start going up, and you're like, I don't know, right? You could have looked, you go from red candle to reversal candle. You're like, oh, it's a reversal candle. I don't know. Should I get in? I got all these up confidence arrows. The Maverick AI Pro is coloring my background. The Bear Bull is pushing up. The Maverick Trender is absolutely pegged to the top. You're like, well, I'll wait. Okay, fine. I get into the third candle. And I don't even take it the full move. I only take it up to like here because this guy comes up and then it starts coming down. It starts coming down. It starts coming down. It starts coming down. You're like, I'm just going to get out, and you close the sale. That's a $2,000 move. That's insane. And then look, then we started coming down. I believe we took some of this. And then we got reversal candles again. Down confidence arrow. Down confidence arrow. You've had a close below your Maverick guide. And you started flushing down. Your Bear Bull really called it back here. It started saying back here that bears were in charge. And you just flushed all the way down. You got hot pink candles. You came up, you tested the Maverick guide, said, no, 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 you're going to push right back down, and you kept going, right? And throughout all this, by the way, you only had one bullish candle through this whole thing. If you would have just hung in there with the bear bull, man, you would have gotten paid handsomely. Like, I mean, just look at this thing. Let me show you how powerful this is. From here, whoops. Again, let's say you're sloppy. Let's say you know, let's say you got in here, you waited for the third candle, you came down, and let's say it started to reverse on you, and you were like afraid. I mean, this is 81 to what? 81 to 49. 81. That's a $32 move. That's a $1,600 move. Okay? And you have complete confidence because you have reversal candles. You have these down confidence arrows. You are below your blue line, the Maverick guide, and you just took this thing for the ride because you started having red candles. So you're like, yeah, we're red. Tested the Maverick guide, big deal. This is our line in the sand. But in this testing of the Maverick guide, you had a down confidence arrow. Hot pink candles, we love it. And then what an unbelievable trade. So listen, if you want clear vision on your charts, if you want edge in the market, come check us out. This is insanity, some of these moves we caught this week, because we just had absolute clear vision. We were looking at a completely different chart than the rest of the folks, the rest of these retailer traders trading. This is what this is like having X-ray vision is what I say, okay? Come check us out. Don't take my advice for it. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. Come read what our traders are saying, because we have some traders that are, you think I'm doing good? They're crushing me with our indicators. I mean, there's way better traders than me. I'm not even that great of a trader. I just have amazing indicators that guide me through these things. Okay, so if I can do it, a lot of people can do it. But again, not financial advice. Do your own research. Come to MaverickIndicators.com. Read the reviews from our folks, from our traders. And by the way, the bear bull is going to be included in the lifetime bundle for the AI Pro this week, and probably like this week we're going to release it. We just got clearance on NinjaTrader and TradingView. We're also going to be releasing the Maverick Orb. It's a auto orb drawing indicator that's pretty freaking cool, especially if you trade the orb. And you're going to get another $1,500 worth of crazy good indicators, which one of them is the Maverick Trender, which, as you can see, the Maverick Trender grabbed this whole move from here to here, and it paid handsomely. So come check us out. That's your weekend recap. I could go over more days, but I don't want to make a 3-hour video. I want you to go live your life. This is why we're traders, so we can trade and then we can have the freedom that we want. But come check us out, MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com. We would love, love, love to help you crush it. All right? All right. Hope you guys have the best weekend ever, and I'll talk to you guys on Monday.